Hey folks, welcome to episode 51 of the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. I'm Laura and I am here with my bestie,
Lori.
And today we are going to talk about the Manchester City Marathon. And for those of you who are just joining us and haven't listened to previous episodes, we are two best friends that met in 2014. Just seems like ages ago, but it was like over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
now we're family.
Yeah, now we're family.
Practically, not really.
And we embarked on a journey to run a marathon, a full marathon, 26.2 miles in each of the 50 states. And we accomplished that in December of 2023. But as adventurers and travelers and moms and runners and best friends, we also have other adventures that we talk about. And menopause, yeah. So we just kind of get into like a variety of topics, but primarily we talk about previous races that we've done, but then also we talk about, just travel and what it's like to go to each of these states and some really cool freaking places to go and eat and grab drinks and
places
then just
to
really
stay sometimes.
Right, places to stay and sights to see. So if you're not a runner and you're joining us, it's okay. You can go and pick up on a lot of really, really cool shit that we talk about in these episodes.
And maybe you will. Even though you're a non-runner, maybe you'll get inspired.
I think we inspired one of my team members, Brian. We were talking the other day, and he was like, I need to buy sneakers. I can run at least a mile a day. And I was like, yes.
Okay, so quick background on that. We had two people, Kayla and Emma. They were guests of ours a few weeks back, month and a half, 2 months back. And during the process of the interview, we found out that it was Kayla ran a mile a day for a year and was talking about how impactful that was for her. So me, Laura, and Maggie, our producer, have all been running a mile a day. Today was day 34, I do believe.
Yes.
And so how's your mile a day going?
Well, I have good days and I have bad days, and primarily because within this 34-day period of time, I've had 2 head and chest colds. Thank you, Jim Lee, for those, my husband.
And he doesn't get sick that often.
And no, he doesn't. And I told him to stop licking doorknobs at work. So he has brought home 2 terrible head and chest colds. So the first day that we started this on New Year's Day, I was still sick and coughing. And I'm like, I was like, if I can get past running in the cold and with a chest cold and snotting all over myself, and I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And it's been bitter cold here in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
Much like in a lot of parts of the country.
It's been hard, I think, in some ways to motivate to run. But then on the flip side, I think I'm now gotten over the hump. Like I've been like, I don't want to all day. And then I'm trying to wait because I have the luxury of being able to run whenever I want during the day.
Which is good and bad.
For the most time. Yeah, which is good and bad. Because then you put it off and then the excuses start.
You're like, I'm going to wait until it's a little warmer, you know?
So I have been waiting until it's warmer. But I have to say that every time I've done it, I've come home. During it, I've enjoyed it. And when I've come home, I've been glad I did it.
Yes.
So now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, you enjoy this. But it does take, I texted the ladies earlier this week and I'm like, dude, I think it takes me just as long to get ready to run a mile than it does to run the mile. Because I'm putting on 15 layers of clothes, 4 on the top, 2 on the bottom, the shoes. And then I have 2 dogs that I run with, 2 English pointers that need the exercise. And of course, their leashes, their hyper, their blankets, and they're freaking out. And anyway, and then I'm going to go on my little tirade. My female dog, Penny, I will let her out multiple times before we go run.
We're going to talk about her poop.
We are. This dog insists on taking a shit every time I run. Every time. Today, I had the blessing of a 2-shitter. She didn't just shit once. She shit once. We picked it up. We ran another quarter of a mile.
Did you do bag of shame? Again. Did you do bag of shame on her?
Well, she pooped really close to the house. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave the bag there. Yeah. But yeah, I wound up. The second one was almost at the halfway point. So yeah, I tied it right around.
Yeah, Lori sent us a picture the other day because we've been sending pictures to every day to the each of us, so the three of us.
Accountability.
And yeah, just accountability. Like, hey, I got it done. And the other day, your picture was of your dog with the shit bag around its neck. And I was like, oh, that's a bag of shame.
Yes. The bag of shame. I'm so tired of it. I'm like, see, this is what happens. You're going to carry your own dump.
No, I've actually, other than the days where it's been hard because of being sick, I'm listening to Wuthering Heights right now. Which
how are you getting through it?
Yeah, dude, that's it's like eating cotton balls, but I'm getting through it.
There is one character, I think his name is Joseph. He's a minor character. Every time the Audible reader, I can't understand what the hell he's saying. I don't know what it is.
I believe he's like one of the work hands in the house. Yes, I believe I am in that portion of the book right now.
Yeah, there are times I'm just like, well, I don't know, but he's a secondary character.
Heathcliff got married, and the chick is now like in his house with like no help or staff and stuff. Yes,
that section. I actually listened to that today.
Okay, that is where I am at.
Yeah,
I'm
like, I have no idea what he just said.
And mine's even worse now because I started listening to it at 1.7 speed.
God.
Because I was like, dude, I have to get through this book. It's like,
I don't know.
You inspired me though, because you were like, hey, the new Wuthering Heights, movie with what's her name, Margot Robbie, is coming out, and I wanted to see it, but I'm like, you know what, I want to get context for, and it's been a while. I remember reading it in high school.
Yeah.
But I probably didn't read it. Like,
probably better to actually physically read the book than do the Audible. I'm going to say for this one,
sure.
I feel like I would understand more.
Yes, I'm sure, because it definitely is hard to follow. But anyway, going back to the running, I'm listening to that. I'll listen to like a podcast, or I think I shared with you. I found just some really like upbeat, like just old, like 80s song playlists. So I spend, my little mile when I'm just running by myself, and I have like a little morning dance party. I try to do mine in the morning. Yeah. Because leaving it to nighttime, I have found that that's harder for me to go and get motivated. So I'm like, nope, just got to get on my stuff and get it. And
got to check the box.
And Maggie's nodding her head yes too, because she sends a lot of pictures from the morning. But I'm finding now that I'm get a little invigorated with, just kind of like getting some air and, getting a little bit of like, I don't know, just like me time, so.
Even if it is frigid cold, it is amazing. Be bold, start cold, another Kayla quote.
Yes.
I've been doing that a little bit more this week than I have in weeks past.
Ditto. I did not wear 2 layers of pants today. Although when you and I ran the other day, it was a real feel of -10.
Yeah.
So folks, it has been bitter cold here.
It has.
So we and I found actually a Facebook post from a gazillion years ago where it was like when you and I first started running together, and I guess it was like a morning where it was below 20 degrees, and you had posted on my Facebook about, thank you for, challenging me and getting me like out of my comfort zone. I laughed. I was like, "Oh, how far you've come!" Because now we're like at -10, right?
Well, and it's vice versa, because there's a lot of times you're like, and I'm like, "Come on!"
Yeah. I balanced the other on Monday because it was like -12, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm done with this."
Well, in 2014, when we moved up here from Florida, that was a bitterly cold winter.
Yes, it was
that year, and I remember thinking, okay, like this is an adjustment, but this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to move to the Philadelphia
I gotta embrace
area.
it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not letting this winter will not beat me. So it was like a chronic thing of trying to make sure you get up and you get out and you do stuff, because it will make you feel better. If you're inside in an office, whatever you are doing, get outside.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, walk.
And what do we always say? There's no bad weather. There's just bad gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And talking about gear. So I know when we talked about the Jekyll Island Marathon a couple of weeks ago, when was that, 2 weeks ago? It rained on us, and it was unfortunate. And
badly.
Badly.
It was like a cold front, and then it dropped. The temperatures dropped.
It like plummeted.
Yes.
And so we were wet and cold. And I said, I will never, ever, ever again experience that in a race. So I went and invested in a Brooks running jacket.
How much was that one?
With my discount, like through because we have Roadrunner Sports
.com.
So it was $110. Was a jacket.
Now,
the one thing that you did point out is that the jacket does not have pockets, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But the pants are there, and it's nice because the jacket and the pants, it doesn't make that swishy material like when you wear like rain gear. It's actually fabric coated on the outside, and so I'm very, very excited now that I have them. And you felt it. It's felt like a little like lighter weight.
So the next time it rains in the morning, you're ready to go.
I am ready to go. And I bought a pair of waterproof socks from Seals.
Oh.
So Seals is
that like seal skin?
Yeah, seal skin.
Okay.
And so this is a brand that we got introduced to when we were in Alaska, and we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. But the seal skins, they make just absolutely incredible gear that's not only waterproof but also like insulated, and
it's phenomenal.
But these are nice. They're not fitted like a normal sock. Like a running sock where it has like more compression.
Yeah.
But I wore them the other day for my run, and I'm like, okay, I could probably tolerate these, for a wet marathon.
That's great.
So now I'm just waiting for my gloves to come in. So I'm like,
did you get sealskin gloves?
I did not. I already have sealskin gloves, but they're heavy weight.
Yeah.
So I wanted a lightweight, waterproof glove.
So what you get for that?
I don't know. It begins with an E, so I'll have to dig that one up.
Yeah, no worries.
But the other thing before we jump into our Epic Week update is that I found out, and I know that you don't wear socks, so like we've never really talked about socks. I usually wear Features for my socks, the brand. And I love them, and I wear like a very, very heavily cushioned sock. I read that you're supposed to go and change your socks out every 3 to 6 months. Lori, I have some socks that are probably 10 plus years old.
You know what? That just sounds like people want to make more money.
Your
socks are fine.
Well,
you change your shoes.
I read it on about 4 or 5 different running sites. So anyway, I just went and invested in some new socks. I'm excited about it because my socks are not super cushiony.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. I was like, man, I'm just spending money on gear right now. They're called Elevation gloves. Elevation. Okay. So, and they were maybe like $15. So it did not break the bank on that one. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. So Epic Week update. You and I ran on Saturday together.
I feel like the Epic Week update for me is not so epic. It's just like a basic week update this week.
But you did something different over the weekend. You helped some family members out.
Yeah, my brother and my sister-in-law, they moved into a new house, so we helped them unload storage units and fill up their truck, and then the truck went to the house and we unloaded it, and then I sat and watched the outdoor game of Penn State and Michigan State, which was in Beaver Stadium, and that looked incredible. And
what was the temperature like there?
We're hold on.
It was maybe 10 degrees, but nothing a little fireball shooters.
Oh, you had the liquid jacket.
Your ski pants can't handle. Yeah, we had a whole fireball bucket, and the whole bucket's worth of fireball shooters were on our persons, smuggled into the stadium. And between 8 of us, we had the whole bucket's worth of shooters. And if you looked on the floor in the stands where we were standing,
you had all the dead soldiers.
It was like a graveyard of fireball shooters. So yeah, it kept us warm, but it got cold towards the end, but it was fine at the beginning.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But anyway, other than that, just not a lot going on other than my 1 mile run, and I'm doing a little bit of a power zone Peloton challenge right now, so I'm riding. But other than that, I was just like in my jammies most of the day on Sunday. Dave had a card show.
You did an outstanding job planning out our Austin, Texas trip.
Oh, I deep dove.
Dude.
I get hyper fixated when it comes to traveling.
You sent me the list the other day and you're like, well, like if nothing like, appeals to you, we can go and totally change it. I looked at it, I was like, it's done.
I was like Bruce Almighty on the keyboards.
Dude.
Like I was like, fingers of fire.
I'm really looking forward to going to Austin, mostly because it's going to be in the 60s and 70s.
Oh my God, that just sounds like heaven.
It's just going to be a really, really nice break from this temperature.
Yes,
so I'm really, really looking forward to that. So
me too. How about you?
So I got a new dishwasher.
Whoop whoop.
Yay. So that was really exciting. So Jim put that in last night. But the thing, so you and I went running on Saturday.
Teased me with something.
I did. I was like, I have something really cool to share. All right. So here's the deal. So my massage therapist, Sam, hi Sam, if you're listening, from Joseph Anthony, and she, the other day, like when I was getting my massage, she was telling me that an old pen pal had reached out to her and like just kind of out of the blue had gotten her number through like, kind of multiple means. And like, this is somebody that she knew like from second grade, you know?
That's cool.
And so now they're like talking on the phone and they're going to, reconnect and stuff. And as I'm laying on the table, I'm like, oh my God, Sam, like I lost touch with a pen pal that I had from England. Her name is Paula Gilbank. And we became pen pals when we were probably about 10 years old.
Yeah.
And for years, like we wrote to each other through like middle school. And then we couldn't tell like what caused us to like not,
probably just time.
Yeah. And well, needless to say, I go and I find because I was like, I think I still have her pictures that she sent.
Yeah.
So she sent me 2 pictures of when she was in grade school, like, and just, putting it in the letters.
Right.
So I end up finding.
Did you do Chat GPT with the scan?
No, I just went on Facebook.
Oh.
And it was like the easiest search. And I'm like, holy shit, that's got to be her. Right. And I'm like, and I'd taken her pictures when she was younger and I'm holding it up and she had like a picture when she was maybe in her 20s and like today. And Jim's like, oh, Laura, that's got to be her. So I sent a note. I'm like, hey, like, not sure if this is like Paula Gilbank, like this is, Laura Koopman, gave some context and stuff. And then I sent like these are some pictures that you sent me like in our notes that we sent. It was freaking her.
That is amazing.
And we have been writing back and forth on Messenger, and she's got a couple of grandbabies.
Aww,
and
how fun.
So she's still living in England, but she's actually with her husband. They're coming over to New York in December. So she was just, I was like, I'm 2 hours away. And she's like, that would be really cool if we could actually meet in person. So yeah, so I'm so thrilled because like when you connect with somebody.
Yes.
And it was just, I so looked forward to her letters and.
Well, that was it back then. We
Yeah,
had
you didn't
no
have the
other
internet.
way. Yeah, there
And-
was no other way to connect with somebody.
No.
And it was coming from overseas. And you were usually, I think, assigned, wasn't it like an assignment thing through school?
It
you
was.
kind of got a pen pal.
It was.
And
It
you
totally was.
And it was like part of you learning how to write proper English
Yes.
and stuff. And
Yes,
work
and write
on
a
your
letter
cursive
and
writing.
how to do an envelope and where the stamp goes and
Yes.
and so I loved getting her letters because it was so different, like her life was like so different than how and just like a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
But it also made me just so curious about travel. And I shared that with her. I was like, that was probably my first like daydreaming about going anywhere outside of the United States was from being pen pals with her.
Yeah.
And look at us now, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I would go and share that with you. So we've been.
You're so good. I can't remember my pen pal's name.
Oh my gosh. Well, she just made such an impression on me, and and I thought she was so cool because it was when like the oh my gosh, flock of seagulls hair.
Oh,
you
yes.
know, it was really. She did not have flock of seagulls hair, but she had like kind of
spiky,
not spiky, but like kind of punky hair.
Yeah.
And stuff, like not colored or anything, but like, you know, like her sides of her hair were moose back, and she had like a big wave in the front and stuff. Totally looked British to me. Like that's what I pictured people from Britain to look like. And
because,
you know, you could see on MTV.
Before
you know?
the internet, the cultures were very different.
Yes.
Like trends and stuff took longer time
Much
to cross
longer.
the ocean and all of that.
Much longer before the internet.
People looked very culturally unique when they were from a different place.
Absolutely. So after the podcast here, I'll have to show you a Maggie Paula's pictures. But so that was my little thing. And so
That's
you know,
cool.
leave it to Sam, my massage therapist. So of course, you know, when I connected with Paula, I sent Sam, you know, a text, and I was like, oh my God, I connected with her. And she was like, oh my God. So now I know, like, that's all we're going to be buzzing about when I'm back getting massage. So we don't do silent massage. We talk the entire time.
Well, that's usually a good massage is okay. Like it's not for relaxation.
Yeah, no, this is not for relaxation. So no, relaxation massage is like, no, shuddy. I don't want to hear it.
Yes.
So. All right, so we are going to get into the Manchester City Marathon.
Yeah.
And this was in New Hampshire.
It was. And we ran this on November 8th of 2020.
COVID.
It was COVID.
Heart of COVID.
We had run a marathon, which we had already recapped all of these, but we had ran a marathon in August in Nevada. And then September in Jackson Hole.
And that was after the shutdown. So we had done two races earlier in the year.
Yes.
Because we had done
Well,
Arizona.
Did we do one in October?
We did Arizona in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then we did Nevada, and then Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah. Jackson Hole.
And Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually eked in like what, five races in 2020.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because post the COVID outbreak, because two of them were not, we had 3 different marathon experiences with people trying to still hold marathons in that fall.
And we so appreciate the effort because they were all very different, but it enabled us to race.
They were very different. So like the one in Nevada was just kind of like a loose start line. You got to the start line, you just go.
And there wasn't a lot of people running that race either. So that was a benefit to that
Jackson Hole was just kind of like a free-for-all. It was like a normal mass start, but they asked you to wear a mask.
Yeah. And they didn't specify what kind of mask, so you could wear a buff and stuff. So that was loosey-goosey.
It was very loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because Manchester decided to do their race where I don't think
they had cones.
They had cones set up, and you went 2 by 2. And they everything was 6 feet apart, so you had to line up to your cone at a certain time. You walked from cone to cone as people were released in 10-second intervals, one by one, across the start line.
And then your name came up across the start line.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a unique and interesting start.
It was very unique.
Yeah,
you know, because normally you have some good energy and stuff, but I think people appreciated it, and nobody complained about it or anything. They did go and tell us like that's how the start was going to be before we got there.
Yes,
so we were prepared for that. But nobody complained, bitched about it or anything like that, because I think everybody was just happy that we were out there and running.
Absolutely.
That's it.
But it is funny because we came off of 2 really epic, 3, even 4, because I would say Arizona was pretty cool too. Like all these really cool races in 2020.
And then we ran Manchester City.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna put a disclosure in here.
Yeah.
One, don't not run it because of what we say today.
I agree.
We ran it on a COVID year.
2020. This is 2020.
Yeah. We ran it after doing some pretty phenomenal marathons that were very, they were epic.
Yeah.
They were epic marathons.
Yes.
And then we ran Manchester. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't remember much from this marathon.
We did a lot of neighborhood running.
Yeah.
And
I think there was a trail.
There was a portion of a trail that we ran, but then also there were a lot of like rolling hills in the neighborhoods. I just remember running hills and going, oh my gosh, like there's another hill. There's now Manchester City, they had like not the Capitol building there. No, it's not the Capitol building.
That's not the
But they
Capitol.
had a federal building there.
There was a federal building with a small
in downtown. That's what it was.
With a small park. It's Veterans Park. And I think that there was a building there.
So the challenge that we ran into is that Lori and I, we saw where the start line was, and normally we try to go and get a hotel room that's as or lodging that's as close to the start as possible, or finish, right?
Yeah.
So we stayed at the DoubleTree, which we would still recommend.
Excellently located.
Yes, and clean, nice hotel staff was really great.
Yep.
But when we were inquiring about like places to eat, the one thing that the staff at the front desk said to us is like, it's not safe. And this was in 2020. So we have not gone and checked to go and see what the current situation is there. But there were a tremendous amount of homeless people that unfortunately, they're homeless.
They're on federal
land. But they're
lands.
on federal land, which was like right in the downtown area. And the state can't kick them off of federal land. So they like kind of infiltrated into the town. And it was, we've been to like Seattle and Oregon. We've seen some tent cities, but this was nothing like I'd ever seen before. So I don't know if the homeless rate was just higher because of COVID and what that had done to impact to society, or if it was just, that's kind of a congregation point. I'm not sure, but it made for a very, very challenging weekend for us.
It was hard to relax.
Yeah, because we did not take in the sights like we would normally do. Yeah. Like we're planning in Austin here in 2 weeks. So we ended up going and driving to, any place that we were going to.
Except for one. We did post-race, we ate at the Thirsty Moose, which was kind of catty corner. It was like less than a block from the hotel. Yeah. And I can still remember feeling slightly uncomfortable walking back from that.
Yes, I remember feeling uncomfortable as well. Yeah. So, yeah. So,
unfortunately.
So, we throw these caveats out there. Like, again, we have not validated whether or not there's still an issue, in the town.
No.
But this was our experience in 2020. And you're going back like 6 years.
Yeah.
Almost 6 years.
Yeah. And so over the 6 years, the course has changed a little, but not a lot. It's almost the same course that we ran. I was checking on it yesterday. We did like a long out and back. I guess probably post the second half of the race.
Yeah.
And then did like a little bit of some loops near a river, and there was like a little, I don't know. There was a neighborhood we went through. They don't do that anymore because they bring you back around and you do a little bit more zigzagging and seeing. I guess there was an old mill yard.
Yes,
I remember
that.
Seeing like where we ate pizza. We went the night before we ran. We went to 900 Degrees Napolitano Pizzeria.
Yes,
which I remember being pretty good.
It was a very good pizza. Yes.
And that was in a warehouse district, but there was another mill yard that we did not run by that is like a historic mill yard, which I feel is kind of sad. It's cool that they're running by it now. They've now added that to the course.
Yeah, which I think is nice, especially if it's a historic site. It's always nice to kind of be a tourist runner, you know, and just kind of seeing some things that you normally wouldn't see. And they do have not only the marathon, but they have a relay, which we love. We love. You know what? If you're a runner and you're just getting out there, like
do the relay.
Do the relay. You know, we always like kind of like at relayers because, you know, like here we are, we're slogging it, and like they come out with fresh legs, like just zoom by us, and we're like, "Fuck you!"
I'm fighting for my life at mile 18, and
you're like, "I'm just fresh, and I still have my."
I'm like, man, why do you smell so good as you're flying by me?
Relayer. And they also have a half and a 5K, so which is nice. Now the finishers, it's increased.
It has,
since 2020.
but I'm not surprised because they probably had a reduced amount of people that were comfortable running it.
No doubt.
They had almost, but not quite 400 people the year that we ran it. They had about 572 finishers this year. So that's pretty good. And they have what's really odd is that they have a late start time.
Yeah.
It's almost at 9 o'clock. It's like 8:50 a.m. is their start time.
Yeah, that's like super late, because like normal races are like 7:30, for us. And yeah.
Yeah. I did not look up what the course time limit was on that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably 6.5 hours,
But one of the stories from the race is that for a time, we were dead last.
We were.
Because we had unexpectedly warm temperatures that day.
Yes.
We had a high of 73 degrees in New Hampshire in November, which is just odd.
It's just really odd.
Yeah. And so it was like 50 or so at the start.
Which was nice.
And then it was hot. And so we have a selfie with the motorcycle cop trailing us for a while. And then finally, I think towards like the last 3 miles, we passed some people.
Well, do you remember, though, that the motorcycle guy was like still following us? And I yelled at him. Not yelled at him in a bad way, but I was like, no. You need to go and stay behind those other runners. They're the last ones.
Yeah, they're last now.
I think he was enjoying us, like in our little banter and stuff, and like, our singing and dancing and whatnot. But yeah, no, I like fun yelled at him no, you need to go behind the last people because we're not the last people right now.
Yeah, there's not much that I remember from that race, but
yes,
I do remember that.
I do remember that. And then we did drive up to this race, and
I couldn't remember.
Yes,
it's
and
so
primarily
bad.
because we were like, it's New Hampshire, and 7 hours, and kind of silly to go and hop on a plane because again, it was like the heart of COVID still at the time. So,
yeah, and we were trying to reduce our contacts.
Absolutely. No, the bib pickup was well organized again. COVID, considerations.
It was no expo.
But you had to wear a mask.
Yeah, it was a bib pickup and it's still at Millennium Running Store.
Yeah.
And it's in Bedford, which is about a 15-minute ride from downtown if you decide to stay in downtown.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was a really cool brewery on the outskirts of town too. So we picked up our bib. I guess we drove up on Saturday?
Yeah, we drove up Saturday.
And we ran Sunday.
Yes, we drove up Saturday because we drove right to bib pickup.
Yeah.
And then we went and hit the brewery.
Yes. And then we
checked into the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place called Backyard Brewing, not too far away. I think we had some snacks and I had beer. You probably had a cocktail?
I think I probably had a cider, but I just remember it was a nice warm day. And you and I just really enjoyed being like out in like an establishment. It was outside. We were sitting on picnic tables. I think we had like a little bit of food as well.
Yeah.
And it was just a nice afternoon. And there were a lot of like families out and at the picnic tables and stuff as well.
Yeah. I think at that point during COVID, we were longing to be back to normal.
I agree.
And it felt like we had a
little taste of it.
Yeah, just a brief moment of normality, and it felt really nice.
No, it totally did. And I just remember you being so excited because like they had a flight, and they were all very generous pours.
I can't help it.
Yeah,
I like a good beer.
It's all good.
Austin has so many breweries. Sorry, that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah. There's a lot of breweries in Austin. I'm not excited.
I happen to notice that. We're gonna have fun in Austin.
Yes, we are.
Yes. All right. So what else did we want to go and cover down? Our post-race meal.
We at Thirsty Moose.
You could tell like this one wasn't like probably one of our really exciting races.
No. Yeah, and then we went back after we ate dinner after the race. We went back to the hotel room because our friend Julie, who, if you've listened to previous episodes, you've met in the past, Julie was turning 50, and we were going on a girls' weekend. And
the following weekend.
Yeah, the following weekend. And Laura and I thought it would be so cool to make a playlist for Julie's 50th birthday where we would take just like top hits, like 1 or 2 hits from every single year she was alive.
Right. So from like 1970 on.
Yes.
And so you and I, like at first we're like, okay, you take 70. I got 71. Right. And like, it was hysterical because we're like throwing this stuff like into like the same playlist and stuff. Like, I learned a lot about music like that day. And we did that until it was like dark out.
Oh yeah. That's how we spent our evening for hours.
Yes.
Hours.
Like that's how you can kind of tell like there wasn't much for us to be able to go into. It just, it is what it is. Again, I just feel very blessed that we were able to go and run this race.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that, Manchester City has a lot to offer, in now the non-COVID days.
And I wonder also, like, if we had more time, like, I would assume with New Hampshire being New Hampshire that there was probably some really rocking hiking around the area that we could have been doing too. But we just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
Couldn't dedicate the time.
No,
to
we
it
just
at that
couldn't.
point.
That was like a get her done, kind of race. And every once in a while, we have that kind of experience where we just can't go and burn the time.
They can't all be as fun as
they can't, unfortunately.
as they could be, as Austin's going to be.
Yes. But we did go and make a killer playlist, and I still listen to that thing.
I do too, and I put it on a lot, like from with my mom or
Yeah.
something, because it's
absolutely.
got such a variety that there's sure to be something that comes on that makes everybody happy.
Absolutely. Now the shirts, the swag for the race.
Okay.
I do not keep the shirts.
I wear the tech shirts. It's a long sleeve royal blue tech shirt. The logo is the same on the shirt as the medal. So it's got like a cityscape skyline. Kind of abstract and just basic. I have it on YouTube. If you're joining us on YouTube, I have the shirt. I did not wear it because I've gained a little bit of weight since I wore this shirt last, and it was not flattering. But I did at Millennium Running get a really cool pink sweatshirt.
Yeah,
I
haven't seen you wear that one in a while. Like that one was kind of.
Yeah.
Like I remember you wearing that for a while when you first bought it.
I go through spurts. There's things I buy something and then I wear it all the time.
I know, I just haven't seen you wear that one in a while. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that you bought that. The cut of the shirt was like a unisex, and it was just
it's also got a wider neck.
Yeah, it just looked freaking fugly on me. So goodwill.
Yeah.
But the medals are super nice. It does say 26.2 on the ribbon. It's kind of like an ombre purplish kind of color with Manchester or Millennium Running and the Manchester City, logo on the ribbon.
Although it doesn't have a year, does it? Now that I'm looking at it,
I don't know.
I don't see a year.
Yeah, but the medal, I mean, it's a decent size. I mean, it's like the size of like Lori's hand, like fully extended out, and then it has like a spinner in the middle of it, where the cityscape that's on the shirt also spins on the medal.
360.
I was like, oh, that was a nice unexpected size medal, for that race.
Yeah, it's a nice medal.
Yeah. So would you run this one again?
I would not recommend nor deny it, because I just don't feel like I have enough evidence to say one way or the other. I'd have to look at what other New Hampshire races are available before I would commit. But I think that at the time before 2020, this was like the race in New Hampshire. If it still holds that, I might consider running it again just to get a non-2020 feel for it.
Yeah, I concur. I don't have an emotional attachment to this where I'm like, hells yeah, I'll run it again. But I'm same like you. If there's another cool race, I mean, New Hampshire is a beautiful state.
It is,
and
I feel like we could get definitely a backpacking something in conjunction with the marathon there.
Yes,
and I could enjoy that.
Yes, yeah.
So it'd be about not just necessarily the marathon, but the New Hampshire experience.
Yes, I totally agree. And and again, I just didn't feel like, just elated, going to Man City, but and again, for a lot of other circumstances.
Yeah.
So that That's our lovely recap. They're not all going to be exciting.
They aren't. And this kind of concluded our 2020 season. We didn't do any more running after this particular race this year.
Yeah.
And then we picked up again in the fall of 2021.
Correct.
Think we had any spring races. But in the interim, that summer, we decided to take a backpacking adventure.
Loved this.
Which we were back up in New Hampshire for.
Yes, yes.
We had seen somewhere that one of the most spectacular hikes on the East Coast is a hut-to-hut hike called the Presidential Traverse.
In the White Mountains.
Yes, it is. It is challenging as that the trail itself is fine, but part of the challenge is to summit a bunch of peaks. And so we decided, I think it was at the end of June or is it the end of July of 2021, we decided to go ahead and do that. And we made reservations at 2 of the huts, and we will be diving into that into our next episode next week.
That is a great adventure story.
Yes. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to sharing that with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Check us out on our socials at Mile 20 Podcasts on Instagram, Facebook, and you can stream us wherever you stream your podcasts on all the platforms.
All the platforms.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us today. Now go make Mile 20 your bitch.
Peace out.